Project Hail Mary 2026. This is a science fiction adventure film produced and directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. They appear to be a duo who have made several films that I've seen over the years. 21 and 22 Jump Street, 2012, 2014. Brigsby Bear, 2017. I really like that film. Cocaine Bear, 2023. The Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse films, and Strays, both from 2023 as well. Um, and this was a film my friend and I were looking forward to seeing, and I think we're both really glad we saw it. It's like many films, has a trailer that's more linear. The actual film plays out on the spaceship largely with flashbacks. So um, Ryan Gosling is like the protagonist, Dr. Ryland Grace, who's an astronaut on a mission to save humanity. And there's not just humanity, but all stars, visible stars, except one, appear to be dying. That's explained in the trailers. Apart from one particular star, Tau Ceti. Tau Ceti is nearly 12 light years away. It's 11.9 light years away. So it's in this science fiction, it's doable to reach it. Although I guess if we had our current technology, it would take more than a lifetime because we can't get anywhere near the speed of light. The speed of light's really fast. 300,000 kilometers a second. It's just like, so to get to that speed, obviously, would take some doing, but the technology seems to exist, or they've got this thing, there's this substance called astrophage. There's a couple other fictional things. There's this sort of line discovered, the Petrova line, which exists between Venus and the sun, and it's the reason the sun is dimming, and through that dimming, the Earth's going to cool so badly that humanity will have difficulty living more than 30 more years. So action needs to be taken. And a lot of the flashbacks feature Ava Strutt, who's played by Sandra Huller, and she's like Ryland's boss. I mean, she's trying to persuade him to go on this mission. He's extremely reluctant. He's a school teacher, so we get to see, and there's a lot of really nice touches, humanity in this, and it's just like, I gather this was a book, and it gives a real personable feel, the fact that a school teacher from Cleveland Middle High, some Cleveland lower high school, middle high school, um, it, teaches science subjects, and he also writes a paper which means that he becomes a leading source of an expert of the information that's required, and that's why Eva is very keen to get him on board. And, well, in the actual film and actually the start of the trailer, you see him kind of waking up. He's, like, got a huge beard because he's been, like, in an induced coma for best part of 12 years, and, um, he's, um, approaching Tau Ceti, and that's in the constellation of Cetus. It's an actual place. I really like that about stories that actually feature, um, real life stars, believable stories, because this is, I looked up afterwards, Wikipedia, various entries just to find out a bit about, um, this and, Tau Ceti, and Eridanus, which, is another of the, star systems and, solar systems and, um, where there's, a planet. I mean, both have planets, that may support life, and so that's really intriguing, and so that's what stories like this are hooked upon, and, I gather the same applied with Vulcan from, Star Trek, because that was set there, so these are really things that, um, I didn't read these books when or even really watch anything like Star Trek when I was growing up. But when I did become aware in, my adult life and realised how rich the stories are, they became a lot more appealing. I mean, I did read books like Arthur C. Clarke and, Peter Ustinov stuff, quite a lot of, sci-fi, but it was mm, I'm going off subject, but, um, because I didn't see Star Wars, the very first Star Wars came out when I was growing up, and a lot of my classmates, school, um, peers did seem to see it, even though I think it was, I can't remember the certification, but I sort of, even though I was really interested in sci-fi, I kept it fairly peripheral. Probably, um, it doesn't matter. I got interested as an adult as much, but the books I did read when I was a kid did really, um, conjure my imagination. So I did get some of the feeling, the centrifugal, replacement for gravity, things like that. And it just anything like that creates a sense of wonderment. And this story and this film, I imagine the book will be even better than the film simply because the film delivers, an image of everything, and it is like Ryan Gosling's character. The book, yeah, you produce the ideas in your own mind, and I think that is a nice aspect of books if you can read them and improve your, um concentration and concentration with so many people is, um, not very good these days because of screen time, it seems, and that's a shame, but I know what it's like because it happens to me too. Um, but anyway, there's a lot about this story that, how, um, Ryland gets to communicate with an alien he meets. He gives the alien's called he's called Rocky. Um, I always wonder about that, why I mean, nowadays there are um, there's a wider range of characters in sci-fi, from, women characters and there's a lot more they characters as well, fortunately. But this story, Rocky, um, that is um, a a man. Well, he isn't a man. He's like an alien, but he's got called He by Ryland. So that's the sort of thing that feels slightly archaic. Not that I mean, so used to that being how things are. It's just it's a lot more refreshing when there's a wider variety and there's more LGBTQIA plus characters, and there aren't in this story. Um, but it was still really interesting, captivating. It really, it's a really long film. Found that fairly difficult. Uh, 2 hours, 36 minutes. Um, that is a long film. I get restless after 2 hours, as I've explained. Um, but the story was, still fascinating. It's just towards the end, I was thinking, "Oh, come on." Um, I mean, there are a few twists. You think it's going to finish, something else crops up. So there are threats and difficulties, um, but um, it it's really good. It's a lovely story, I think. Um, and it's still gonna. I'm gonna score it 9, despite its length and everything. Um, so I'd love to know what you think if you've seen this film. I mean, Ryan Gosling's a great actor, I think, and he, I mean, in a way, there's times when, I mean, because he has to communicate. Eventually, they sort of develop a way to make the communications clearer. The same author is behind The Martian, and I remember the stories from that, which were really um, clever, very ingenious. So um, there's a lot of food for thought in this film, and um, it appeals a lot. And I probably will at some point see it again, but probably just not in the cinema. I loved to have seen it in the cinema um, yesterday, but uh, the length is quite difficult. So um, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like if you like this film review. Thanks for subscribing. I'm going to have to review some films like The Martian and Gravity and various other films that involve space passengers. I like that quite a lot. So I will probably put some links in when I've had to think about what fits in well with this, um, as a follow-on if you want to see something else of this. But thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.